8 signs you're every woman's secret crush, modern stoic? Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you might completely change how you see yourself right now as you're watching this. There's probably a woman, maybe multiple women, who's been thinking about you. And I don't mean in a casual way. I mean she's been replaying conversations you've had, wondering what you're doing right now, creating little scenarios in her head about running into you again. The crazy part, you have absolutely no idea. See, here's what most guys don't understand about attraction. You think women are attracted to the loudest guy in the room, the one with the flashiest car, or the guy who's obviously trying to get everyone's attention. But that's not how female psychology actually works. Women are secretly obsessing over a completely different type of man. And if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you might be him. I'm talking about the guy who doesn't even realize he's attractive, the one who's not trying to impress anyone, the man who just exists in his own space, completely comfortable, completely authentic, and completely unaware that half the women around him are secretly hoping he'll notice them. And here's the thing that's going to blow your mind. These women aren't just attracted to you, they're intimidated by you, they're nervous around you, they're creating entire fantasy relationships with you in their heads, and you're walking around thinking you're just a regular guy. So let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself, as I go through these signs, how many of these sound like you? Because if even 3 of these resonate, I guarantee there are women in your life right now who are secretly hoping you'll make a move. 1. Women get nervous around you, and you think they're just being weird. Let me set the stage for you. You walk into a room, it could be the office, a gathering with friends, or even just a casual trip to the gym, and something catches your eye. That woman you've had a conversation with before, maybe a few times, suddenly changes when you're around. Her usual calm demeanor starts to falter. Her hands fidget. Maybe she tugs at her hair or adjusts her clothes. Her voice might rise an octave, and suddenly she can't remember the last thing she said. You might dismiss this as her simply having an off day, but don't be fooled. She's not just having a random, awkward moment. She's actually nervous because you affect her in a way you can't even imagine. It's a physiological response. Your presence is altering her brain chemistry, and she's trying, but failing, to keep it cool. Your mere presence brings up a storm of emotions, and while she might try to cover it, you can feel the electric tension she's radiating. Now picture this. She's mentally scrambling, running through 1,000 thoughts. Does she look good? What should she say next? Should she even say anything? Will you notice her? And even if you do, is she going to sound ridiculous? Her mind is a maze of should I or shouldn't I, as she hopes you'll initiate the conversation, but secretly fears it, worried she might blurt out something embarrassing. You see this as nothing more than normal social behaviour, maybe even think she's a little scattered or awkward. But here's the kicker. You, my friend, are her secret crush. Your presence turns her into a high schooler again, full of nervous energy and uncertainty. The woman everyone else sees as calm, composed, and confident is crumbling in front of you, and she's doing everything in her power to hide it. So why is this happening? What's so special about you? It's simple, really. You're embodying the modern stoic in a way that makes you irresistible without even trying. You don't perform. You don't act. You simply are. This natural self-assurance makes you unpredictable, and that unpredictability is magnetic. She can't quite figure you out, and it's driving her crazy. Unlike most men who wear their emotions or intentions on their sleeves, you don't. And that mystery surrounding you is a blessing of Stoicism that keeps her on edge and intrigued. When you walk into a room, it's not just the surface, level stuff that catches her attention, it's the layers beneath it. You don't have to say a word to captivate her. Your presence, your confidence, your grounded demeanor, these are the things that set you apart. That's why women who seem completely at ease with everyone else will suddenly get a little off, kilter around you. It's not a coincidence. It's attraction mixed with intimidation, and it's one of the clearest signs that you've become someone's secret obsession. In a world filled with noise and distractions, You're the rarest of gems. You don't have to try to be appealing, you simply are. The old Stoic wisdom teaches us that true strength is often silent, but in your case, it speaks volumes. Embrace that power. You're not just a passive observer of life. You're someone who actively makes an impact, simply by being yourself. Next time you notice this behavior, don't chalk it up to chance. Recognize it for what it is. A sign that your presence is stirring something deeper within the women around you. You are the secret crush they're quietly obsessing over, even if they'll never admit it out loud. 2. You catch women staring. Then they quickly look away. Let's talk about something that many men overlook, yet it's one of the clearest signs that you've sparked interest in a woman. She stares at you, but the moment you notice, she looks away. We've all experienced it. You're at work, in a coffee shop, or at the gym doing your thing, when suddenly you feel that weird sensation of someone's eyes on you. You glance up and catch her. The moment your gazes meet, she looks away quickly. Sometimes she'll flash a nervous smile or even seem a little embarrassed. Now, before you write this off as nothing, maybe she just had a random thought, or perhaps you had something on your face. Let me give you the Stoic perspective. What's really happening here is that you've caught her studying you. She's been sizing you up, observing how you move, how you interact, how you carry yourself. She's been curious about you for a while, and when you make eye contact, it's like her cover's blown. Panic sets in. She wasn't ready for you to catch her in the act of studying your every move. But why does she act this way? What's behind it? This is where the lessons of Stoicism can help. In Stoic philosophy, we learn that life is about controlling our actions and responses, not others. Similarly, women, in this instance, are trying to keep control of their emotions and maintain subtlety. They don't want to come off as obvious or desperate. She's trying to figure you out, your body language, the way you speak, your presence. She's not just checking out your looks, she's assessing you as a person. This isn't random. She's drawn to you. The reason why she looks away when you catch her is that she cares what you think. If she didn't find you appealing or intimidating in some way, she wouldn't care if you noticed her gaze. She would either hold eye contact with confidence, or she wouldn't be trying to look at you in the first place. Now, consider this for a moment. How many times have you been in a social setting, only to notice a woman sneaking glances at you repeatedly throughout the event? Don't dismiss this as coincidence. You must understand, that is no accident. She's a secret admirer, trying to savor the moment without revealing her interest too soon. You've caught her peeking into the mystery of your life, and now she's trying to save face. In many ways, this subtle act is a modern version of Stoic self-restraint. The idea is to maintain control of one's impulses while pursuing personal desires or interests. Women, like the modern Stoic, often hold back from expressing their feelings too openly. Instead, they try to gauge your reaction to their interest before taking the next step. They want to see if you're someone they can trust with their vulnerability. If she can't be sure of how you'll respond, she'll stay in the shadows, watching, studying. So, what do you do with this knowledge? You must stay calm, composed, and confident. Don't jump to conclusions or assume that every woman who looks at you is interested. Stoic lessons teach us that we control our actions, not the reactions of others. But when you notice this pattern, it's important to recognize it for what it is. You've become a subject of intrigue. She's looking for something in you, and she's waiting for you to make the next move, whether that's catching her gaze again, engaging in conversation, or simply acknowledging her quietly from a distance. At the end of the day, this is a game of subtlety. If you're truly walking the path of a Stoic life, you must be aware of these quiet signals, but also stay grounded in who you are. Confidence in the face of attention is key. Don't chase after validation or try too hard to decode every glance. Let it unfold naturally, and remember, your presence is your power. That is the Stoic way. You keep your composure, never overreacting, always aware but never too eager. Women stare, glance away, and study you, all while hoping you'll notice without feeling pressured. It's a silent dance, but one that, if played with the poise of a Stoic, could lead to much more than just a fleeting glance. If this resonates with you, drop a comment right now. I'm the man who leaves a lasting impression. Like this video, subscribe for more powerful insights, and remind yourself daily, confidence isn't loud, it's magnetic. 3. They remember everything you say and bring it up weeks later. Think about it. Have you ever mentioned something in passing, maybe a fleeting thought or a joke, and then, weeks or even months later, a woman brings it up? You're left thinking, how does she remember that? What seems trivial to you is deeply significant to her. She's not just remembering, she's analysing, replaying, and absorbing every word. Why? Because when you're her secret crush, every interaction with you matters in ways you can't imagine. What you say is not just information. It's a clue to who you are, and she's collecting them. Think back to that casual comment about your weekend plans. Weeks later, she brings it up again, asking for more details. Why? It's because it meant something to her, something she's been mulling over since that moment. Her brain has processed that information, filed it away, and then used it as a reference point to build a deeper understanding of you. It's not just a good memory, it's intentional. She's gathering data. When a woman is attracted to a man, she's not just listening, she's absorbing everything. The little things you say, the details you may forget, but she cherishes. You mention your favourite food or something you're passionate about, and before you know it, she's bringing up your preferences again, showing you she's been paying attention, trying to make a connection. You speak about your dreams, your aspirations, and she remembers and subtly works that into future conversations. That's not the behaviour of someone who's just being friendly. It's the behaviour of someone who is emotionally invested. This is where Stoic principles come into play. You see, Marcus Aurelius taught us that the true value of life lies in what we do, what we say, and how we treat others. A woman who's interested in you is no different. She sees value in what you say and applies it to her emotional world. It's not random, it's methodical. You must recognise this, because it's not just small talk, it's her way of quietly expressing interest. It's no longer just about a dinner conversation or a shared laugh. It's her way of getting closer. When you understand this, you see life differently. Your words, your actions, your thoughts carry weight. You don't need to force a connection. Stay grounded in Stoic principles, like Marcus Aurelius did, and you'll find that when you're emotionally stable and controlled, you attract others who value that same stability and focus. Every woman who's secretly crushing on you is absorbing this stability because your presence, your words, your actions, they all align with something deeper. They're seeking the kind of stability and clarity that only a true Stoic can provide. Be deliberate in your actions and never underestimate the power of a woman who listens closely. What you say today could shape the path of tomorrow's connection. 4. She's always around, but it seems like a coincidence. This sign is subtle but powerful. It's all about patterns, and most men never notice these patterns because every single event seems completely random. But here's the trick. If you step back, take a deeper look, and start connecting the dots, you'll begin to see the bigger picture. Do you ever notice a woman who seems to pop up wherever you are? She's at the coffee shop you visit every morning, even though she never used to be there before. She joins group hangouts that she once avoided because of her busy schedule. She takes the long way back to her desk just to walk past yours. She volunteers for projects that you're working on, even though she has no obligation to. And then there are those moments when she asks questions that frankly could be answered by someone else, but instead she comes to you. She might ask about something work, related, or even just a quick, simple thing, but she always finds a way to come to you for the answer. Each individual moment seems perfectly reasonable. She lives near that coffee shop, so it makes sense she'd be there. She's finally making time for socialising, which is why she's showing up at group events. She's stepping up at work, taking on more projects, and that's why she volunteers. And as for asking you questions, it's no big deal. Maybe she's just being helpful or simply looking for someone to talk to. But when you add it all up, when you take a step back and see the full picture, you begin to realise there's a pattern at play here. What's really happening is she's strategically positioning herself in your orbit. She's making it seem like all these occurrences are completely random, but trust me, they're not. She wants more chances to interact with you, but she doesn't want to make it obvious. She's not going to flat out ask you to hang out or spend time together. That would reveal her feelings, make her vulnerable to rejection, and she's not about to take that risk. Instead, she's doing something far more clever. She's setting up moments for you two to cross paths. She's making sure that the opportunities for conversation happen naturally, without it seeming forced or desperate. The truth is, women tend to be more socially aware than men, and because of that, they're better at creating these subtle, unplanned opportunities. She's a master of the art of subtlety. By showing up at the coffee shop, by taking the long way past your desk, by volunteering for those projects, she's not just being friendly. She's creating an environment where it feels like you two have just happened to run into each other, and the conversation can flow effortlessly. 5. They ask personal questions, but frame them as casual conversation. Here's where things start to get really interesting. You're sitting there, having what seems like a perfectly normal chat, when all of a sudden you find yourself talking about things you usually don't share so freely. Family history, past relationships, personal goals, things that usually stay behind closed doors. But in this case, she's asking these intimate questions with such ease and grace that it feels like nothing out of the ordinary. Don't be fooled. When a woman secretly crushes on you, these questions aren't just a random curiosity. No, they're the signals of a deeper, unspoken interest. She's not just passing the time with small talk. She's studying you. She's trying to figure out what makes you tick, what your values are, what kind of person you are underneath all that stoic exterior. And why? Because secretly, she wants to know whether you're someone she could be compatible with. That's right. When she's casually asking you about your family dynamics or what your deepest fears are, she's not just being polite. She's getting to the heart of what really drives you, what makes you you. Think of it as a covert mission. She wants to know if you're the kind of man who is emotionally available, what your past relationships were like, and how you view your future. Why? Because that's the blueprint for compatibility in the eyes of someone who's crushing on you. But she's making it all seem like nothing more than casual conversation. And here's where the subtlety kicks in. You must learn to recognize this. If you're paying attention, you'll notice a pattern. Her questions aren't just like the ones she asks others. While she's grilling you about your personal life, others will only get the most basic inquiries. How's work going? Or, how's the weather today? No, with you, she's digging deeper, asking about your life's purpose, your family history, even your fears. These aren't trivial questions. These are questions about the heart and soul, about who you really are beneath the surface. Don't mistake this for friendly curiosity. This is strategic. She's piecing together a puzzle, and you're the main piece she's studying. The goal: to see if she could fit into your world and whether she's willing to put her time and heart into that. Now, that's not just some innocent conversation. That's the mark of someone who's secretly falling for you. So, pay attention to what she's asking and how it compares to what she asks others. It's not about work, weather, or small talk. It's about knowing you on a deeper level. This is where Stoic life can come in handy. Stoicism teaches you to focus on what you can control, to avoid getting swept up by emotions, and to live in alignment with your values. When you're able to stay calm and composed, even in these deeply personal exchanges, it signals confidence and self-awareness. It's a powerful Stoic lesson, one that shows you're secure enough in your own identity to share what matters to you without hesitation. The truth is, a Stoic man isn't afraid to open up, but he also knows when and where to draw boundaries. When someone asks personal questions, don't rush to answer everything. Be discerning. That's how you hold your ground without getting pulled into unnecessary emotional drama. You must always remember to maintain control over your narrative and avoid oversharing. So next time she seems to steer the conversation in a personal direction, don't jump to conclusions or let it rattle you. Instead, recognize the underlying signs that she's trying to figure out if you align with her values and dreams. Recognize that you're the center of her curiosity, because you're the one she secretly admires. And don't forget to live by the Stoic lessons that remind you to remain composed, wise, and confident. This isn't just about the questions she asks, though. It's about your response. You must stay true to yourself, embrace your Stoic mindset, respond with calm confidence, and always keep your boundaries intact. That's how you show her you're a man who knows his worth, his values, and where he stands in life. In the end, don't just be a passive participant in these conversations. Use your Stoic philosophy to your advantage. Engage thoughtfully, stay emotionally grounded, and give just enough of yourself to reveal your true self without surrendering to emotional chaos. This is the path of a modern Stoic, and it's the key to understanding when you're every woman's secret crush. 6. They seem to accidentally touch you. It's not just a coincidence. Pay attention. When a woman accidentally brushes your arm, or her hand lingers just a bit longer than necessary when passing you something, or when she adjusts your jacket as you stand together, this is not random. It's intentional. These small, seemingly innocent gestures are often more deliberate than you think. You must understand this. These touches aren't about politeness or mere friendliness. They are signals, subtle yet powerful, that reveal a deeper level of attraction. When a woman is genuinely interested, she's not afraid to break the physical barrier, even in the smallest of ways. You must recognize this as a sign of her desire to establish a more profound, unspoken connection with you. As the Stoic Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, but the same can be said for the quality of your awareness. A true modern Stoic is sharp and observant, not just with words, but with every action and gesture around him. In this fast-paced world, it's easy to overlook the small signs, but the Stoic principles demand that you stay present and aware. Don't get distracted by superficial chatter. Focus on the deeper, more meaningful exchanges. If she touches you more than others, if she finds ways to bridge the gap between your personal space and hers, you are not imagining things. She's signaling interest. Recognize it. Feel it. Don't ignore these signals. Modern life moves fast and many men overlook these details. But if you're serious about mastering life, you must sharpen your perception. Stop waiting for the obvious. Stop waiting for the bold confession. Look for the nuances. Let these small signs fuel your confidence. Let them empower you. Because when you understand this, you are no longer just guessing. You are engaging in a dance, a quiet, powerful exchange of energy. And you, as a modern Stoic, know exactly how to read that energy. Master the art of awareness. You must know that a woman's body language speaks volumes. It's not just about her words, it's about her actions. And those accidental touches? They're not mistakes. They are windows into her soul. She is making her feelings known in the most subtle yet undeniable way. Trust your instincts, trust your awareness, recognize the signs, and take control. Let these moments guide you, not just as clues to her attraction, but as affirmations of your own power and mastery over the situation. Marcus Aurelius once reminded us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. But when it comes to relationships and attraction, the best action is to be aware and in control of the moment. The signs are there. The choice is yours. Don't miss them. If you've caught onto this subtle sign, you're already ahead of the game. Most men miss these moments, thinking they're just friendly gestures. But now you know, they're a sign of deeper interest. Comment below. I'm aware of the signs and ready to make my move, and let us know how you've been picking up on these clues. 7. She laughs at your jokes, even the not so funny ones. Don't be too quick to dismiss it if you notice that she's laughing at every word you say, even when your jokes barely land or aren't all that funny. It's not about the joke itself, but what's underneath it. When someone has a crush on you, they will often find your company irresistible, and they'll show it in subtle ways. A simple, seemingly casual laugh can be her way of telling you that she enjoys your presence, admires your sense of humour, and feels more comfortable around you than anyone else. It's not always about whether your joke is objectively funny. It's the blessing of Stoicism that allows her to appreciate the moment and your company. In the world of modern Stoics, there's a certain grace in acknowledging the beauty of a person without outwardly declaring it. A laugh, even in response to something that doesn't quite hit the mark, is a sign of that quiet admiration and approval. It's a classic sign of attraction, a hint that she's viewing you through a lens that others don't get to see, where even your failed jokes become a way to connect. You see, women who are genuinely into you won't judge every little thing you do with the same critical eye others might. They'll see the deeper, charming side of you that others might miss. Laughing at your jokes, especially those that might go unnoticed by the rest of the room, is a clue that she's trying to show you that you matter to her in a way that transcends ordinary interactions. It's about modern Stoicism, where true admiration is shown through actions and not just words. When you're more than just an acquaintance, your humour becomes a reflection of your character to her, not just a punchline to be judged. Think about it. This is the quiet but powerful pull of attraction, where a laugh isn't just a laugh. It's a message, a sign that your presence is appreciated, and that you're not just passing through her life like everyone else. When she laughs at something that others might find trivial, that's when you know there's more to it. She's not just amused by you, she's drawn to you, and she's giving you a hint of something deeper. In the world of the old Stoic, there's wisdom in understanding that genuine affection is often unspoken, expressed in small, meaningful ways. That laugh is her way of saying, "I'm paying attention. I like being around you. You make me feel good." If she's laughing at jokes others might not even notice, you've moved past the surface, level friendship, and into something much more significant. Her response goes beyond the ordinary and shows a deeper connection. That's a sign that you've caught her interest in a way that goes beyond casual acquaintance. You must recognize that laughter, in this context, is not just about humor. It's an intimate gesture, a subtle but powerful display of admiration that many would miss. So next time you hear that laugh, take it as the compliment it truly is. She's not just laughing at your words, she's laughing at the person she's falling for. 8. She's always around when you need help. Let's face it, there's something uniquely captivating when someone shows up just when you need them the most. Picture this. You're wrestling with a complicated project, or perhaps you've hit a roadblock in your day. And then, out of nowhere, she appears. Maybe it's with a suggestion, maybe with an offer to help, or simply by being there when you're clearly struggling. This is no coincidence. It's not magic. It's her subtle yet deliberate way of getting closer to you. When a woman repeatedly pops up just when you need assistance, whether it's with a work task, a piece of advice, or even just a minor inconvenience, it's a strong sign that she's more than just casually interested. She's actively trying to be involved in your life, weaving herself into the fabric of your day. 2. Day activities. But here's the thing. Her help might seem trivial at first. She may offer to carry your bag, suggest a better way to organize your workspace, or even help with tasks that don't seem like a big deal. You might brush it off as nothing more than kindness or simple generosity. But trust me, this behavior isn't as innocent as it seems. It's all part of a larger strategy. She's showing up in your life in ways that allow her to be indispensable without directly admitting her feelings. Think about it. When you need something, she's always there. There's a reason she's choosing to be so helpful. Her help isn't about being a good Samaritan. It's about finding a way to spend more time with you, to be noticed, and to slowly make herself an important part of your routine. This is the subtle art of being there when you need help, without appearing too obvious. You can almost picture her playing a game, a strategic, quiet dance, where she's giving just enough to get closer to you while keeping her true feelings tucked away. And she's using her Stoic lessons to do it, adopting the quiet patience that defines a Stoic life. She's not rushing in with declarations of affection. Instead, she's building her presence around you, slowly and steadily, like a patient warrior observing their target from the shadows. Don't mistake this for mere coincidence. This is intentional. In the world of Stoicism, we talk about living with purpose and intention. This is exactly what she's doing, showing up with purpose. She's not impulsively offering help because it's convenient for her. She's doing it because she's decided to take action in a way that aligns with the Stoic belief in control and strategy. She's learned how to navigate her emotions, and instead of overreacting or declaring her feelings, she's using her actions as the best form of expression. But don't mistake her calm demeanor for indifference. Women like this know how to play the long game, and they understand the quiet power of presence. You'll see her continue to linger, to offer advice, or to step in when you least expect it. She's not just being helpful, she's being strategic, and in her own way, she's mastering the art of being indispensable without saying a word. You must recognize this behavior for what it is. It's not just random acts of kindness. It's a methodical, thought-out approach to getting closer to you. She's making herself indispensable, so that even in small moments she becomes a key part of your life. This is the quiet power of Stoicism in action. By not overtly pushing her feelings, she's remaining composed, never rushing or forcing anything. Instead, she's taking deliberate steps that lead to greater closeness over time. Be aware. The more time you spend together, the more you'll realize how much you rely on her quiet presence. It's her way of integrating herself into your life in a meaningful, almost unnoticeable way. The next time you catch her offering help, or even just lingering when you're working, ask yourself, is she doing this to be closer to you? Chances are the answer is a resounding yes, and you, as a modern Stoic, can appreciate the strategy she's employing, knowing that true connection often grows slowly, patiently, and with deliberate effort. In the end, the key lesson here is simple. You must recognize the signs and appreciate them for what they truly are. This isn't just help, it's an invitation into her life, a way for her to be closer without saying it outright. It's the work of someone who understands the power of action over words, someone who's playing the long game with the subtlety of a Stoic. Well, that wraps up today's video. If you found it valuable, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with anyone who might benefit, and make sure to subscribe for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. If you've got any feedback, or if there's anything you want to discuss further, drop a comment below. I read every single one, and I'm here for your opinions. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay true to yourself, stay strong, and keep being that modern Stoic. Catch you in the next one. Seven signs your relationship material. Women notice this. Modern Stoic. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. Audrey Hepburn. Listen up, because what I'm about to share could change the way you view your dating life forever. There are women in your world, women you interact with every day, who are quietly evaluating you, not just as someone they could casually date, but as someone they could see building a future with. Here's the kicker. While other guys are busy trying to act like the bad boy or the charming playboy, believing that's what women want, you're actually showing the very qualities that make women consider you as a long-term partner. You're displaying traits that could make them delete their dating apps and introduce you to their family. There's a huge difference between being someone a woman has fun with and being someone she envisions a future with. The unfortunate truth is, most guys never realize what really attracts women for the long haul. They think it's about being mysterious or exciting, but that's a short-lived game. Women might be intrigued by the thrill, but what makes them fall is something entirely different. In reality, women are always on the lookout for relationship potential. It's almost instinctive. Even in casual moments, they're subconsciously assessing, could this be someone I could share my life with? And when you're naturally displaying these 7 key traits, the answer is often a definitive yes. Here's the mind-blowing part. You may already be demonstrating these traits without even realizing it. You might think you're just being yourself, but what you're actually doing is triggering all the signals that show you're someone worth investing in long term. You're making her imagine what it would be like to build a life together, how you'd handle challenges, and whether you'd still be supportive and affectionate years down the road. So let me ask you, How many of these 7 signs do you recognize in yourself? If you see even 4 or 5 of these qualities in your own behavior, there's a good chance there are women around you right now who are hoping you'll make things official. 1. You actually listen and remember what she says. Being relationship material isn't just about showing up or saying the right things. It's about consistently proving you can connect, listen, and be there in ways that most guys can't even fathom. It's about creating the kind of bond that speaks volumes without saying a word. Women notice when you genuinely listen to them, not just as a passive participant, but as someone who actively engages, takes the time to understand, and remembers. Don't just half listen and think about what you're going to say next. That's where most men fail. The real magic happens when you dive into the conversation, ask insightful questions, and remember the little things, like her sister's wedding, the book she's been dying to read, or that random memory she shared about her favourite childhood vacation. These aren't just facts for you to collect, they're keys that unlock a deeper connection. When you do this, something powerful happens. She feels truly heard, seen, and valued, things most women can't even remember feeling in past relationships. She starts to think, finally, someone who really cares about me. And that feeling makes her naturally consider a future where you're both a central part of it. It's a subtle yet profound shift that has the power to create lasting intimacy. This isn't just about listening to the surface level details either. This is about listening with intention, with the mindset that her words matter. Don't just respond to her comments, engage with them. Reflect on what she's shared and ask the kind of questions that show you're not just paying attention, but you're actively seeking to know her on a deeper level. This isn't some manipulation tactic. This is genuine connection. Women want to know that when they speak, it's not only landing, but it's sinking in, that their thoughts and emotions are taken seriously. This is where the blessing of Stoicism really comes into play. Modern Stoic men understand the power of presence. They don't get lost in their own thoughts or react impulsively. Instead, they choose to be fully there, fully present in the moment, without distractions. This is a skill that takes practice and patience, but it's one of the most powerful things you can bring to the table in any relationship. Old Stoics from the days of Marcus Aurelius to Seneca taught that attentiveness and deep listening were signs of inner strength, not weakness. A Stoic man doesn't rush to respond or try to fix everything. He listens, processes, and then responds with thoughtfulness and clarity. This type of calm, steady presence is what makes a man relationship material in today's world. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about the quiet confidence that comes with truly understanding what others are saying. This is something many men overlook, but it's exactly what women need. It's a gift that not only sets you apart, but also demonstrates maturity, emotional intelligence, and respect. When you can provide that, you show her that you're the kind of man who's not just looking for the next fling, but someone who's looking to build something meaningful. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that listening is passive or unimportant. It's the foundation of trust, intimacy, and deep connection. If you're not actively listening, then what's left? Surface, level conversations, and shallow interactions that go nowhere. If you want to be the kind of man who attracts women on a deeper level, you must prioritize listening as an art form. This is the modern Stoic way, being calm, present, and truly understanding. Old Stoic teachings show us that listening isn't just about hearing words, it's about understanding context, emotions, and the underlying messages. This takes discipline, patience, and a certain level of emotional control. But these qualities are what will make you an ideal partner in any relationship. The next time you're in a conversation with her, don't just wait for your turn to talk. Be present in the moment, truly hear what she's saying, and show that you care about the things that matter to her. Don't be the guy who's just waiting to respond. Be the guy who's taking it all in and asking thoughtful, engaging questions. This is how you demonstrate your relationship material. The art of deep listening is an expression of maturity and emotional depth. When she feels truly heard, she begins to feel seen and appreciated in a way that makes her feel safe, valued, and respected. That kind of emotional connection is what sets you apart as someone who's not just good enough for her. You're the kind of man she's been waiting for. You must make listening your superpower. You must be that person who is always present and genuinely invested in her thoughts, feelings, and experiences. This isn't about showing off your ability to remember everything she's ever said, but rather about demonstrating that you care enough to be engaged with her and that you truly value what she brings to the table. Modern Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in our ability to control our responses and be present. When you listen deeply, you aren't just creating a conversation. You're building a bridge that will carry both of you to a future filled with trust and understanding. Don't underestimate the power of listening. It's the key to everything she wants in a partner and exactly what makes you relationship material. 2. You handle stress like a grown man. Don't be the guy who crumbles the moment life throws a curveball. When stress hits, whether it's a cancelled flight, a difficult conversation, or the pressure of a demanding workday, how do you react? Do you lose your cool or, like a modern Stoic, maintain your composure and search for a solution? Trust me, women notice this. They're paying attention to how you handle pressure, and it speaks volumes about the kind of partner you'll be. Picture this. You're on a business trip, and your flight is delayed for hours. The stress of the situation builds up, and you can feel your patience wearing thin. Now, the question is, how do you respond? If you're the type who starts ranting, complaining, or spiraling into a frustration-fueled meltdown, that's not exactly the picture of stability. But if you can take a deep breath, stay calm, and handle the situation with grace, you're not only showing maturity, you're demonstrating one of the most valuable qualities a partner can have: steadiness. In relationships, women want someone who can handle the inevitable bumps in the road with a level head. Think about it. Life isn't always smooth sailing. There will be challenges, disagreements, and curveballs along the way. When those moments hit, your response matters. A Stoic life isn't about being emotionless. It's about being composed and responding rationally no matter the storm. The key lesson here is that stress is unavoidable. It's not about whether or not it will happen, but how you handle it. Modern Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to accept what we cannot. So, when faced with adversity, remember, don't let frustration control you. Be proactive, be rational, and be calm. This is exactly the kind of mindset that attracts women who are looking for a reliable, steady partner. Handling stress like a grown man doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or bottling them up. It means dealing with them in a constructive way, taking responsibility for your emotions, and working through the situation with maturity. This approach not only helps you in the moment, but it also builds trust with your partner. When she sees that you can stay grounded under pressure, she knows that you'll be there for her when times get tough. Women value emotional intelligence, and part of that is recognizing how to manage stress effectively. The Stoic lessons of self-control and resilience aren't just philosophical ideals, they're practical tools for navigating life's challenges. When you can embody these lessons, you're demonstrating that you have what it takes to be a solid, dependable partner. That's the kind of man women are drawn to, not the one who reacts impulsively, but the one who responds thoughtfully. So, how can you improve your ability to handle stress like a Stoic? Start by practicing mindfulness. Don't let your emotions run wild. Take a step back, assess the situation, and decide on the best course of action. Be aware of your triggers and don't allow them to dictate your response. This might take some time, but with consistency, you'll find that handling stress becomes second nature. And here's the thing. When you manage stress well, you create an environment where both you and your partner can thrive. You'll be able to support her when she's feeling overwhelmed, and she'll feel secure knowing that you won't crumble under pressure. Women are drawn to a man who can maintain his composure, someone who can handle life's inevitable ups and downs with ease. That's the kind of relationship material women are looking for. Remember, stress isn't going anywhere. It's a part of life. But how you deal with it, that's entirely in your control. So be the man who can navigate the storms of life with grace and watch how it makes you not just a better partner, but a more grounded, stable individual. That's the power of Stoicism, and that's what makes your relationship material. If you want to be the kind of man who remains calm and solution-focused in tough times, drop a comment right now. I stay steady under pressure. Like this video, subscribe for more Stoic wisdom, and remember, true strength is staying composed when life tests you. 3. You treat everyone with respect. How you treat others, especially those who can't offer you anything in return, says everything about who you truly are. It's easy to be kind to someone when they can do something for you, but the real test of your character lies in how you treat those with no ability to benefit you, like service workers, strangers, or even people who seem to be in a position lower than yours. Women notice this. They're keenly aware of how you interact with people who have no power to influence your life. This goes far beyond basic politeness. If you are consistently respectful, thoughtful, and considerate in every interaction, it's a clear signal that your values run deep. And here's the truth. Women begin to imagine how you'll treat them, their families, and how you'd handle life's most important roles, like being a father. How you treat others, especially those who can't repay you, speaks volumes about your integrity and your emotional maturity. This is not about putting on a show for the world, it's about living with character. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, wisely stated, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This is a call to action. You must embody the values that you want to project. Respect is the foundation of that character. It's not just a nice gesture or an expectation. It's the core of your integrity. Women are always paying attention to how you interact with others, and this is especially true when it comes to men they might consider for long-term relationships. If they see that you treat everyone, whether they're in a position to benefit you or not, with dignity and respect, they begin to envision a future with you. They see you as someone who will treat them and their family with the same courtesy, respect, and emotional maturity. They picture you as someone who can be counted on, not just to be a good partner, but to be a solid father figure and a trustworthy leader in any role you take on. The Stoic principles of life, which Marcus Aurelius and other Stoic philosophers preached, emphasize the importance of self, discipline, resilience, and respect. Respect is at the heart of this. A man who embodies Stoic thinking understands that the world isn't about him alone, and his interactions with others are a reflection of his inner strength and self-control. By consistently practicing respect, you show that you are secure in your values and that you can rise above any situation or person who might try to diminish or provoke you. This isn't about showing off your power. It's about demonstrating your calm and unwavering ability to remain true to your principles. If you want to be seen as relationship material, you must demonstrate that you are grounded in these Stoic principles. Women are drawn to men who exhibit emotional stability and wisdom, and nothing shows this more than how you treat the people around you. Respect is not something you do when it's convenient. It must be a part of who you are. Women can tell when respect is genuine and when it's merely for show. A man who is disrespectful or dismissive to those around him, especially those who can't offer him anything in return, is not someone who will make a good partner or father. That's a red flag. A man of integrity, one who embodies Stoic principles, knows that his worth is not defined by what others can do for him, but by how he treats others. That is the foundation of a trustworthy character. You must internalize this truth. Your actions will determine how women see you. If you treat others with disrespect, that will reflect on your relationships. But if you show kindness, patience, and respect, whether it's with a cashier, a colleague, or a stranger, you are showing that you are a man capable of forming a deep, meaningful connection. You will have earned the right to be seen as relationship material, someone who can be relied upon to act with honor, dignity, and wisdom. Let's be clear. You have to make this a habit. Respect cannot be something you only show when it's easy, or when it's in your best interest. It's a way of life. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say." In other words, true respect starts with humility. It starts with understanding that everyone has value, even if they cannot do anything for you. It's about putting the principles of Stoic thought into action. You must live by these values day in and day out. If you do, women will notice, and more importantly, you'll earn the deep respect and admiration that comes with living a life of purpose, integrity, and respect for others. In the end, if you are to become the man who embodies the Stoic principles of respect, kindness, and emotional maturity, you must act with resolve. Treat every person you encounter as if they matter, because they do. And when you do this, you not only build stronger relationships, but also position yourself as a man of character, someone capable of winning the respect and trust of the people who matter most in your life. Live by this code. Let respect define you, and the world will respond accordingly. You must become the man who lives out the principles of Stoicism in every aspect of his life. 4. You have your life together, but you're still growing. Don't get caught in the trap of thinking that perfection is the end goal. No one is perfect, and frankly, women don't expect you to be. What they notice, what truly grabs their attention, is a man who has his life together, but is still hungry for growth. Women are drawn to men who are not just stable and responsible, but who have the drive to improve, evolve, and move forward, regardless of how far they've come. It's about managing your life with intention and discipline, whether that means keeping your career on track, maintaining your health, or working on your emotional well-being. But it's equally important to show that you're still looking ahead, always striving to do better, to be better. This balance is essential because it demonstrates that you're not the type of man who is just coasting through life, floating aimlessly without direction. You're someone who actively seeks self-improvement, someone who realizes that growth is a lifelong journey. This is where the concept of the modern Stoic comes into play. A modern Stoic isn't stuck in the past or overwhelmed by the future. Instead, they focus on the present moment while always striving for personal development. The blessing of Stoicism lies in its ability to provide a framework for maintaining emotional stability, perspective, and resilience. You don't just react to life's ups and downs, you confront them with a calm, measured approach and use every experience as an opportunity for growth. This is the essence of what women are attracted to. They want a man who doesn't just sit back and wait for life to happen, but one who takes control of his circumstances, grows from them, and ultimately improves with each new challenge. Being responsible, organised, and proactive is undeniably important. Whether it's managing your finances, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, or taking charge of your career, these are the outward signs of stability that women notice. But there's another layer to this that goes beyond the basics of adulthood. Women are drawn to men who are in constant evolution, not just in their jobs or their finances, but also in their character, mindset, and emotional intelligence. This shows maturity. It signals that you're not stuck in your ways, that you're not a man who will never change. You're adaptable, open to new experiences, and dedicated to becoming a better version of yourself with each passing day. This sense of ambition isn't about seeking external validation. It's about having an internal drive to push beyond your limits, to challenge yourself, and to live intentionally. And that's what makes your relationship material. The old Stoics knew the value of accepting life's challenges and approaching them with purpose. They understood that growth doesn't come from avoiding difficulty, but from meeting it head-on and using it as a catalyst for self-improvement. The modern Stoic embraces the same mindset, accepting what they can't control while focusing on what they can, and always seeking personal growth in every area of life. When you embody this principle, you not only show women that you're capable of handling the ups and downs of life, but that you're also a man who will stand strong beside them in a relationship, growing together through the years. Women are attracted to men who bring this energy into a relationship. If you're someone who is always improving, someone who is consistently working on their physical health, emotional intelligence, or career goals, then you show that you have the potential to create a healthy, evolving partnership. You are not stagnant. You are dynamic. You don't just offer stability, but you offer progress. This is what women want. They want a partner who is secure in themselves, but who also has the drive to build a better future, not just for themselves, but for their relationship. They want someone who can grow with them, not someone who is stuck in the past or reluctant to change. So don't settle for simply being good enough. The world doesn't reward complacency. You must keep moving forward, keep striving, and keep growing. Whether it's in your career, your health, or your emotional development, don't let the journey of self-improvement stop. The more you work on yourself, the more you'll become the type of man who attracts women seeking a meaningful, evolving partnership. This is the modern Stoic way, a way of living that not only makes you attractive, but also lays the foundation for a successful, thriving relationship. Women notice this kind of growth, and they are drawn to it. So remember, keep improving, keep developing, and keep becoming the best version of yourself. That is the kind of man who is truly relationship material, and that is exactly what women are looking for. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us, or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. 5. You're emotionally available and communicate like an adult. Don't shy away from emotions. Being emotionally available is one of the most important qualities a man can bring to a relationship. It's not just about being able to talk. It's about being able to express what's inside, even when it feels uncomfortable. Women notice this, and, believe me, they appreciate it. If you can openly discuss your feelings without turning it into a drama show or hiding behind a mask of silence, you're already a step ahead. It's rare, but it's incredibly attractive. Now, we live in a world where men are often told to bottle up their emotions, be stoic to a fault, and avoid vulnerability. The truth is, the real stoic life isn't about suppressing everything inside. It's about control. Control over how you respond, how you process, and how you express your emotions. It's about being strong, but also understanding that strength can coexist with compassion and openness. Being emotionally available means you must be the type of man who is capable of navigating tough conversations with respect and clarity. Women don't want to walk on eggshells, wondering if a simple conversation will turn into a battle. That's not the kind of emotional safety they seek. They crave a partner who can listen without judgment, respond thoughtfully, and manage conflict without creating chaos. When you can engage in these kinds of conversations calmly, you're already building a foundation of trust. You're not just talking. You're creating a space where both of you feel heard. This is where the magic happens. A woman wants to feel that her voice matters, that her emotions are validated. When she sees you handling difficult subjects with maturity and patience, she can relax and trust that the relationship will weather any storm. That is exactly what makes your relationship material. Think about this. You're in a heated argument, the kind that could easily escalate. If you remain calm, stay focused on resolving the issue rather than escalating the tension, you are applying Stoic lessons in real time. Stoicism isn't about avoiding emotions. It's about responding rationally, no matter how chaotic things might seem. That's the quality women deeply respect. You must lead the conversation with maturity, ensuring that you don't turn a minor disagreement into a full-blown crisis. A key part of emotional availability is knowing how to communicate without attacking or belittling. That means you should never deflect, stonewall, or shut down. Instead, you must articulate your thoughts with clarity and respect, acknowledging the feelings of your partner. Be present, not just physically, but emotionally as well. When you're emotionally available, you're showing that you care deeply. You're making it clear that the relationship is important to you, and you're willing to work through tough times without running away. It's also important to recognize that emotional maturity means being self-aware. You must be able to reflect on your own feelings, articulate them accurately, and understand how your actions or words may affect those around you. That's the essence of a modern Stoic, someone who remains level, headed even in emotional turbulence, but doesn't ignore the emotions themselves. Instead, he uses them as a tool for growth. Being emotionally available isn't just about the good times. It's about standing by each other when things get messy. Women notice when a man can stay grounded, maintain his composure, and keep the lines of communication open when the going gets tough. That's what makes you trustworthy. That's what builds a real, lasting bond. If you're emotionally available, you're not just a partner, you're a rock. And when a woman feels like she has a rock beside her, she can face anything. In the context of a relationship, that's what a woman wants. Someone she can count on to handle the challenges of life. And here's the key. When you approach these situations with Stoic lessons in mind, the relationship becomes a place where both of you can grow. A woman knows that she can rely on you to keep your head, even when emotions are running high. That's an invaluable quality in any relationship. So, don't hide your emotions. Don't shy away from the hard talks. Be the man who can communicate openly and respectfully. Be the man who knows that true Stoicism isn't about suppressing feelings, but managing them with maturity and grace. You'll notice that when you embrace emotional availability and mature communication, the relationships around you will thrive, and that's the kind of man any woman will want to build a future with. 6. You show consistency between words and actions. Consistency between your words and actions is the defining trait of a man who is truly relationship material. Trust is the cornerstone of any successful relationship, and without it, nothing of value can be built. Women, in particular, are keenly aware of a man's integrity. If you say you're going to do something, make sure your actions align with your words. When you promise something, follow through with it every single time. This unwavering consistency doesn't just build trust, it creates security. In relationships today, one of the biggest frustrations women face is uncertainty. They don't want to guess at your feelings or intentions. If you want to be a man they can rely on, you must show up and do what you say, no matter how inconvenient it may be. This is not about grand gestures, but about small, everyday actions that prove you are dependable. A relationship is a journey where trust is the vehicle that carries both partners forward. And when trust is built on your consistent actions, it paves the way for emotional investment from both sides. Imagine being that man, the one who doesn't falter under pressure, the one who doesn't waver when times get tough, the one who does what he says. The modern woman wants a partner she can count on, not someone who is unpredictable or erratic in their emotions and actions. When you live with consistency, you radiate a sense of reliability. You become the steady hand that she can lean on in times of need. Marcus Aurelius, a true Stoic, once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The key here is not just in talking about your principles or ideals, but in living them daily. You must be the embodiment of your words. To do so, you must follow the Stoic principles, stay calm under pressure, act with intention, and remain true to your promises. Being a man of your word is an essential aspect of the Stoic mindset. You don't need to get caught up in fleeting emotions or impulsive decisions. Instead, like the Stoics taught, you must rise above your immediate reactions and live by your principles. Whether it's keeping small promises or honouring the larger commitments you've made, showing consistency will build the trust that is essential in any relationship. Women crave stability, and the man who can provide that is the one they'll want beside them for the long haul. In the modern world, we live in a society that is constantly distracted, full of immediate gratifications and endless options. It can be easy to get caught up in the chaos. But the Stoic man, the man who has mastered himself, doesn't waver. He keeps his promises, no matter how small, because he understands that every action contributes to the bigger picture. He knows that every time he falls short of his word, trust erodes. He doesn't let the noise of life dictate his actions. He holds firm, he stays steady, and he's reliable, through thick and thin. Think about it. How many times have you been disappointed by someone who couldn't keep their word? How many times have you felt frustration because someone wasn't consistent in their actions? You don't want to be that person. You want to be the man who walks the talk, the man whose words and actions align. That's the man who attracts genuine commitment, the kind of woman who values stability and knows that when you say something, you'll make it happen. Marcus Aurelius, in his wisdom, reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts. If your thoughts are grounded in discipline and consistency, so will your actions be. You must cultivate this mindset, day in and day out. Consistency doesn't just happen. It's the result of deliberate, repeated actions. Women see it. They notice the man who doesn't make excuses, the one who does what he says he will do. This consistency is what makes you trustworthy, and trust is the foundation upon which strong relationships are built. Without it, there is nothing. With it, you can build a future together, secure in the knowledge that both of you are on the same page. Remember, being consistent isn't just about keeping promises to others, it's about keeping promises to yourself. The Stoic principles teach us the value of self, discipline and integrity. If you can't rely on yourself to follow through, how can anyone else? Take responsibility for your words and actions. The more you align them, the more you will grow as a man, and the more you will attract the kind of relationship that is grounded in real trust and emotional depth. In a world full of distractions and fleeting moments, consistency is your superpower. It is the quiet force that will set you apart and make you an ideal partner. Women notice when a man's words and actions align, and they are naturally drawn to him. Be that man. Show up, keep your promises, live by the Stoic principles of discipline, self-control, and reliability. Only then will you become the man who not only attracts, but also retains the kind of relationship that others envy. Master yourself, live by your actions, be consistent, and that, above all, will make you a man who is truly relationship material. If you've made it this far, you're showing that you're ready to level up. Consistency between words and actions is the foundation of trust, and trust is the key to a deep, meaningful connection. Don't let doubt hold you back. Show the world you mean what you say, and say what you mean. Please comment below. I am the man who leads with consistency. Let's build that trust together. 7. You make her feel like the best version of herself. You must understand this. A great partner doesn't merely hope that the other person will change. A great partner inspires transformation, but not through demands, criticisms, or force. No, a truly great partner creates an environment where change can flourish naturally, an environment that encourages growth, rather than trying to impose it. This is the blessing of Stoicism in its most modern form. A modern Stoic man knows that personal growth doesn't come from force or manipulation, but through acceptance, support, and the right kind of influence. It's not about making grand gestures or constantly trying to convince her that she's amazing. It's about creating a space where she can be herself, where her dreams are nurtured and celebrated, where her successes are acknowledged, and where she can fully express her potential without fear of judgment. When you show admiration for her achievements, when you genuinely support her ambitions, you aren't just being a good partner, you're being the catalyst for her to reach her best self. You see, it's not about offering her compliments every single moment. Those words can be empty if they're not rooted in something real. The real magic happens when your positive energy radiates out, when you allow your own personal growth to inspire her, your own pursuit of becoming better, of growing in wisdom and resilience, acts as a beacon for her to do the same. You must lead by example. When she sees your consistency, your steady development as a man, when she sees how you meet challenges and overcome them with grace and determination, she feels empowered. She feels capable of becoming her best self, and that is where attraction truly begins. You must remember this. When she feels good about herself in your presence, when she feels valued and loved, she connects that feeling to you. That's the real power. You don't need to flatter her every minute to show your appreciation. Instead, your actions, your steadiness, your integrity, your constant support allow her to blossom into the woman she's meant to be. When she feels strong and secure in herself because of your influence, your role in her life becomes indelibly tied to her sense of self, worth. She begins to associate you with the best version of herself. And that, my friend, is a deep, profound connection. This is where the wisdom of the old Stoic still rings true today. The old Stoics taught that greatness was not simply about individual success, but about fostering the greatness in those around you. A man who lives by the principles of modern Stoicism doesn't focus on trying to change others. Instead, he provides the space, the guidance, and the environment where they can change on their own, where they can evolve and grow into their full potential. You must be the kind of man who doesn't demand perfection, but who celebrates progress, no matter how small, and who lifts those around him up. When you lead with respect, when you support with patience, when you admire her with honesty, you give her the freedom to rise to her fullest self. That is true partnership. And let's be clear, this isn't about you needing to be perfect. No one expects that. The key is in your ability to lead by example, not by grand gestures, but by living authentically. The more you grow, the more she will be inspired to grow. That's the beauty of a modern Stoic mindset. It's not about manipulating others into becoming who you think they should be. It's about being a constant, steady force that encourages others to become the best version of themselves. And when she feels empowered around you, when she sees you as a person who enables her to flourish, you become incredibly attractive. There is nothing more magnetic than someone who believes in you, supports you, and shows you, through their actions, that you have the power to become more than you ever thought possible. In a world that often rushes to judgment and demands quick fixes, the modern Stoic stands apart. He is patient, he's steady, he believes in growth, not change for the sake of change. You must adopt this mindset, one where you don't simply wait for things to happen, but create the conditions where growth is inevitable. This is not just about you either, it's about her too. When she feels good about herself around you, when she associates you with self, empowerment, her respect and love for you grow deeper. That is what makes you magnetic. That is what makes her feel like the best version of herself. You are not just a passive observer in her life. You are the reason she feels like she can reach new heights, the reason she feels valued and appreciated. And in that, you will find the ultimate reward, her admiration, her love, and her desire to grow alongside you. Remember this, be the man who inspires, not by force, but by leading with unwavering support, respect, and the wisdom of a modern Stoic. Be the partner who creates a space for her to rise, not through manipulation, but through your own example. That's how you make her feel like the best version of herself. And that, my friend, is what makes you truly irreplaceable. Hey there, thanks for watching. Remember, these 7 qualities are what women truly value when they're looking for someone to build a future with. If you already exhibit these traits, you're probably already someone people can count on for the long haul. Keep being your authentic self, keep improving, and trust that the right person will see the value you bring. Wishing you all the best in your relationships, and stay true to who you are. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Five signs women, hope you'll ask them out. Modern Stoic. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting 2 bodies. Aristotle. It's time to stop overthinking and start paying attention. Right now, there may be a woman in your life who's quietly hoping you'll take the next step and ask her out. And here's the twist. She's not just casually interested. She's imagining what it would be like to be with you, picturing your first date, the thrill of holding your hand, and what it would feel like introducing you to her friends as her boyfriend. But here's the kicker. You probably have no idea. While you think you're just being friendly or doing what you always do, she's likely already visualizing the potential for a real relationship. It's not just a fleeting thought. She's mentally creating a scenario in which you two are together. You, on the other hand, are probably second, guessing every smile, every word, every moment, wondering if you're misreading the situation. Most men miss the subtle signs of female attraction. When a woman truly likes you, not just physically, but emotionally and intellectually, she may not broadcast it. In fact, the more she likes you, the more likely she is to hide it, fearing that being too obvious could scare you off or risk ruining the potential she's already built up in her mind. She might be waiting for you to make the first move, praying that you'll recognize what's happening before it slips away. She's not just hoping you'll notice, she's hoping you'll act. She wants to stop fantasizing about what could be and finally see it happen in real life. Meanwhile, you might be thinking, is she just being nice? Does that smile mean something more? But behind the scenes, she's sharing stories about you with her friends, replaying conversations in her head, and hoping that when you see her next, you'll finally ask her out. So let me ask you, how many of these signs have you missed? If any of them sound familiar, it's time to stop overthinking. There may be a woman in your life right now, quietly wishing you'd stop being oblivious and make your move. Look for the signs and then take action. 1. She creates perfect opportunities and then waits. This one is a game changer, yet so many men completely miss it because they think it's just coincidence. It's easy to overlook because she isn't flat out telling you she wants you to ask her out. And most men are so caught up in their own thoughts, they miss the signs. But here's the truth. She's deliberately crafting opportunities for you to ask her out. And then she waits for you to step up. When you don't, she begins to feel confused, frustrated, and, worst of all, unsure about your interest. She's left wondering if you simply aren't picking up on her signals, or if you just don't care enough to take the next step. Let me paint a picture for you. She casually mentions that she's never been to that new restaurant everyone's raving about. She's not saying this to everyone, but she says it right to you, looking at you with a subtle but clear glimmer of hope in her eyes. Maybe she talks about having no plans this weekend and makes sure you're around to hear it. She might even tell you how badly she wants to see that new movie that's out, staring you down as she does. Now, if you're like most guys, you'll think she's just talking to fill the space, casually passing time in conversation. But she's not. In fact, she's doing the complete opposite. She's creating the perfect environment for you to act. You might not even realize it, but she's essentially handing you a script. Hey, want to check out that restaurant together? Or, I was thinking of seeing that movie this weekend. Want to come with me? She's practically laying it out for you. This is where most men falter. When you don't pick up on these opportunities, you start creating doubt in her mind. She begins thinking, is he not interested? Does he not see me in that way? Or maybe he's just clueless. Women, especially those who have a little experience, don't typically make the first move directly. They want to feel chosen, wanted, pursued. And this is key. They won't explicitly ask you out, because doing so doesn't give them that feeling. Instead, they plant little seeds, little hints here and there, with the hope that you will be the one to make the leap. And when you don't act on it, they're left waiting and wondering if it's too late, if the moment has passed, or worse, if they've been overthinking things all along. They'll wonder, how many more hints do I need to drop before he takes the hint? The reality is, women are often highly attuned to subtle body language, unspoken cues, and the timing of their words. And when they keep dropping hints, they're doing so not just out of casual conversation, but with a very specific, almost stoic purpose in mind. They want you to take action, to pursue. In this sense, the modern Stoic understands the importance of patience, the power of observation, and the wisdom of making decisions at the right moment. It's your job, then, to take that wisdom and act decisively. If you've got a woman in your life who consistently mentions things she wants to do, places she wants to go, or events she's dying to attend, all the while making sure you're present to hear it, there's absolutely nothing random about it. She's not just being chatty. It's a clue. She's practically praying you'll be the one to make the connection, to pick up on the invitation, and to take the lead in asking her to join you for those activities. As a modern Stoic, this is your time to rise to the occasion. Don't let your fear, hesitation, or overthinking cause you to miss out on an opportunity that's been set up for you with care and intent. Instead, use the blessing of Stoicism to help you tune into these moments. Don't just wait passively for things to happen. Be proactive, be deliberate in your actions, and recognize the significance of what's being laid out before you. This subtle game of will he, won't he, isn't something to take lightly. The old Stoics were keenly aware of how to navigate the complexity of human emotions, interactions, and decision-making. They knew when to act and when to stay still, but they never hesitated when it came to seizing the right moment. So if you're finding yourself in a situation where a woman seems to be setting up these opportunities for you, it's time to get serious. She's showing you the way. You have the chance to act. Take it. Trust in your own ability to understand the unspoken and make the move that could very well change the course of your relationship. After all, the most successful relationships often start with someone recognizing the perfect moment to step up and say, I see you, and I want to share this experience with you. Don't wait for it to be handed to you more obviously. Recognize the patterns and take action. It could be the difference between being stuck in the friend zone or stepping into something truly meaningful. 2. She lights up when she sees you and her friends notice. You walk into the room and suddenly everything changes. No, it's not your imagination, it's her. Her entire demeanor shifts. Her eyes brighten, her smile stretches wider, and there's this noticeable spark in her energy. It's as if someone flipped a switch, and the entire room seems to glow just a little bit brighter with her in it. This is the sign that you've got her attention, and not just any attention, but the kind that shows she's interested. Now, don't make the mistake of thinking she's just happy to see a friend. You've been around long enough to know the difference between the way she greets you and the way she greets others. When it's you, she's different. She's more animated. She leans forward, sits up straighter, and radiates energy like the sun just broke through a cloudy sky. There's a glow about her that no one else seems to inspire. It's not just your perception either. Her friends notice. They've probably even joked about it behind your back when you're not around. How could they not? She checks her appearance in the mirror when she knows you're about to show up. She's more mindful of how she's sitting, standing, or even how her hair falls, just so. Every little movement seems to matter a little more when you're near. And yes, her friends see it. They know it. And they've likely teased her about it because it's so obvious. But here's the key. They notice because they're picking up on what you might be overlooking. She is undeniably affected by your presence. The real kicker here is how she becomes the best version of herself when you're around. You know the version I'm talking about, the confident, witty, radiant woman who shines a little brighter. She's funny, engaging, and clearly making an effort to impress you. It's not an act, though. It's an unconscious reaction to her attraction toward you. She wants you to see her at her absolute best. Why? Because she's hoping you'll want to see more of her. This is not about playing games. This is the psychology of attraction at its finest. When a woman is genuinely interested, she unconsciously begins to enhance her appearance and demeanor when you're around. It's not calculated, it's instinctual. And it's a clear sign that she's hoping to catch your attention. So if you're not noticing this, it's time to pay attention. Your presence, the very fact that you're near, has an undeniable impact on her. And don't kid yourself, it's not just about her. The Stoic life teaches us to be mindful of our presence and the impact it has on others. When you're around someone who lights up like this, it's not just that you're making them feel better, it's that you're the one changing the atmosphere. Think of it as a Stoic lesson in action, recognizing that your energy, your presence, can change the energy of the room. That's power, and that's something you can leverage. You might think this is just a friendly gesture, but it's more than that. It's a clear indicator that she enjoys your company and wants more of it. If you start paying attention to how she behaves when you're there, versus when you're not, the difference will be glaringly obvious. You'll see it. She becomes more. She wants to be more when you're around because she values your attention and presence. You must understand, when someone lights up like that just from seeing you, it's not mere politeness. She's showing you that your presence makes her day brighter, better. And that's a woman who would almost certainly say yes if you asked her out. It's not about playing it cool or pretending you don't notice. It's about recognizing the clear signs she's giving you and acting on them. So don't ignore this. Don't be the man who overlooks this signal. A woman who lights up when you enter the room isn't just being friendly. She's showing you that she's not only interested, but genuinely hoping you'll make the next move. This is a sign that a little courage on your part could lead to something extraordinary. Remember the Stoic life. The ability to remain composed, focused, and decisive in moments like this is a powerful tool. Don't miss the opportunity because you're too caught up in second-guessing yourself. You must recognize the signs, act decisively, and take that step. The Stoic lessons are there for a reason. They teach us to be aware, to act in the moment, and to seize the opportunities that present themselves. And trust me, this is one of those moments. If you've noticed her light up the moment you walk into the room, it's time to take action. She's not just being friendly, she's showing you she's genuinely interested. If you're ready to take that next step, drop a comment right now. I see the signs and I'm making my move. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remember, a confident man knows when to act. 3. She remembers everything you say and brings it up later. If a woman remembers everything you say and brings it up later, that's not just a coincidence. It's a deliberate sign that she's paying close attention to you. It's subtle, but it's one of the most powerful indicators that she's interested in you on a deeper level. Think about it. She recalls that random story you shared weeks ago, the comment you made about your favorite childhood memories, or the music you casually mentioned liking. When a song from that band comes on, she brings it up. It's not about her having a good memory. It's about her valuing what you say, so much so that she prioritizes it in her mind and revisits it later. She's absorbing everything. She's gathering every detail of your life because you matter to her. It's an act of genuine attention, something that is rare in today's world of distracted conversations and shallow interactions. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." And that's exactly what she's doing. She's showing you, through her actions, that she's being an attentive and thoughtful person who is not only listening, but also acting with purpose. But here's the real kicker. She doesn't just remember your words, she uses them to create more opportunities for connection. She references that band you like when she sees that they're coming to town. She asks about that hobby you're passionate about, showing genuine interest in how it's going. She inquires about the goal you set months ago and wants to know how close you are to achieving it. She's weaving these references into the conversation, not out of obligation, but out of a deep desire to connect with you. Every time she brings something up that you've mentioned, she's showing you that she's invested in your life. She's paying attention. She's demonstrating that she's not just another casual acquaintance. She sees you for who you are, what you care about, and what you're working toward. This is where many guys miss the mark. They fail to recognize just how rare and powerful this behavior is. In today's world, when was the last time someone truly listened to you and remembered the little things you said? Not many people do that. Yet, a woman who is genuinely interested in you will do exactly that. She'll remember what you said, and she'll follow up with it. This is not typical behavior from someone who's simply being polite or trying to fill the air with conversation. She's doing this because she's invested in the connection, because she wants to build something real. And let's face it, this is exactly what a Stoic would do. Stoic principles are all about focusing on what truly matters, being deliberate in your actions, and fostering meaningful relationships. She's applying those principles without even realizing it, in the same way that Marcus Aurelius taught us to focus on what we can control and pay attention to the important things. She's doing just that with you. She's consciously focusing on you, your desires, your dreams, and your preferences. She's building a bridge of connection that's rooted in respect, understanding, and shared values. She's not just waiting for life to happen. She's actively making an effort to engage with you and deepen the relationship. This level of attention is something that should not be overlooked. You must realize how rare it is. If a woman in your life seems to have a photographic memory for the things you say, don't just chalk it up to good memory. It's far more significant than that. It's a signal that she's been hoping you'll notice her and make a move. She's already showing that she values you and your words. She's offering you the opportunity to see her as someone worth pursuing, someone who cares deeply about building a connection with you. But you must act. The Stoic mindset is about taking decisive action based on knowledge and understanding. And what do you understand now? That she's offering you a rare chance to take things to the next level. Don't waste it. You must act with purpose, confidence, and resolve. This isn't about guessing or wondering if she's interested. It's clear. She's giving you the signs, and the right thing to do is to ask her out. Do it. Don't hesitate. Don't second-guess yourself. A woman who remembers the smallest details about you, who makes a conscious effort to engage with your world and bring your interests into conversation, is a woman who's invested in creating a real connection. She's waiting for you to take the next step. You must be bold. Ask her out, and you'll find that you're not just moving forward in a relationship, you're taking control of your life and your destiny. This is a victory, a moment where you seize the opportunity to live with purpose and clarity. You're not just reacting to life, you're shaping it. The Stoic principles, which emphasize mindfulness, attention, and deliberate action, are your tools in this journey. Remember what Marcus Aurelius said: "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If you recognize the significance of these signs and take decisive action, you'll find that the quality of your life and your relationships will improve dramatically. So step up, recognize her interest, and ask her out with the confidence that comes from knowing exactly what's at stake. Don't let this moment pass you by. You must act now. 4. She finds reasons to touch you and lingers when she does. Let's get this straight. If a woman's drawn to you, her touch will tell you everything. But here's the catch. Not all touches are the same, and it's not about random pats on the back. I'm talking about those subtle, almost innocent touches that are too frequent to be mere accidents. It could be the hand she places on your arm as she laughs at your joke, or the playful shoulder bump when she's teasing you. Maybe she's finding reasons to high-five you or lightly touch your hand when you're talking. These little things might seem like nothing, but they're not random. They're calculated. But, and this is key, she lingers. That hand stays on your arm a moment longer than it would for anyone else. That hug doesn't end as quickly as a casual goodbye should. It's not a quick platonic touch. No, it's soft, lingering contact. She's hoping you'll notice. She's hoping you'll respond. Now here's the kicker. You might convince yourself that she's just a naturally touchy person. But trust me, her behaviour is different with you. Pay attention. Watch how she interacts with everyone else. Her touch with them will be brief, casual, and obviously platonic. But with you, there's something else, a gentleness, an intentionality to her touch. You're no longer just another guy in the room. The psychology here is clear. She's drawn to you, and her body instinctively looks for opportunities to connect physically. That's because physical touch releases bonding hormones, and it's her body's way of signaling her attraction. What's even more intriguing is that she's not fully aware she's doing this. It's a natural, almost subconscious reaction to being attracted to you. But she's also testing you, seeing how you respond. Does your body tense up? Do you pull away, acting uncomfortable? Or do you reciprocate, leaning in a little, letting her know that you enjoy it? Your reaction matters. It's the feedback she's waiting for. You might think you're just having a normal conversation, but you're giving her clues, and she's paying attention. What she really hopes for is that you'll initiate that physical connection yourself. Maybe you'll find an excuse to touch her arm when you pass by, or gently place your hand on her back when you walk together. Maybe, just maybe, you'll hug her a little longer when you see her and make it clear that you're feeling the same pull. So, when you find a woman in your life who seems to find every excuse to touch you, especially when those touches feel different than with anyone else, don't be dense. She's not just being friendly, she's dropping you a massive clue that she's physically interested, and more importantly, hoping you'll catch on and ask her out. This is where the modern Stoic mindset is crucial. Don't overthink it. The blessing of Stoicism lies in being aware of the signals, understanding them, and responding without hesitation. The old Stoic would have walked away without noticing these cues. But you're tuned in. She's showing you that she wants you to take the lead. Don't wait. She's waiting for you to make the first move. If you recognize these signs, don't let the opportunity slip by. Like, comment below and share this with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights. Comment to remember. Physical touch is a language of attraction. 5. She makes herself available for you even when she's busy. This sign. If you miss it, you're not just blind, you might be living in an alternate reality. In the world of modern Stoicism, where priorities are the bedrock of our decisions, this behavior is crystal clear. When a woman rearranges her life to make space for you, even when she's stacked with responsibilities, you need to pay attention. This is about more than friendship or just being helpful. This is about investment. She's showing you that you matter in a world that demands time and attention. And she's not waiting for the stars to align. She's making the stars align for you. You see, every time she agrees to meet you, even at the last minute, she's subtly saying, "You're important to me." She could easily say no. After all, she has a full plate, work, family, friends, and her own interests. But when it comes to you, she makes it happen. Maybe you ask her for coffee after a long day, and despite being exhausted, she says yes. Or you need help with something, and even though her to-do list is a mile long, she steps in. This isn't just politeness. It's about choosing you, time and time again, over other options. The first thing you might think is, wow, she's just a great friend. Wrong. Don't be that guy. Sure, she might be a great friend, but the behavior you're witnessing is a classic Stoic move. She's showing you that you're a priority. You are someone she's willing to rearrange her schedule for. She's sending a message, loud and clear. I hope you'll see me as more than just a friend. Here's where it gets even deeper. This isn't just about her being available. This is about her giving you quality time. When you're with her, she's fully present. You can see it in the way she listens. There are no distractions, no phone checking, no half-hearted conversations. She's there with you, for you, and you feel it. This moment matters to her because it's an investment. She's giving her most precious resource, her time, to you, and she's doing it because she's hoping you'll invest in her too. Let's dive into the psychology of this, from a Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our choices, and our responses. When she prioritizes you, it's not some random act of kindness. She's making a calculated, deliberate decision to offer you her time, because time is a finite resource, and it speaks volumes. She's investing in you, hoping you'll see her effort, and understand that this isn't just about hanging out. This is about building something deeper. Think about it. If someone constantly makes themselves available for you, it's not by accident. It's intentional. It's her way of saying, I value you, I care about you, and I'm hoping you'll notice this effort. And ultimately, what she's hoping for is simple. She wants you to ask her out. She doesn't want to be stuck in the friend zone any longer. That's the key. If you can't see that she's putting herself out there for you, you're missing a huge part of the puzzle. Now, don't get it twisted. She's not asking for grand gestures or you to bend over backward for her. What she's hoping for is just one thing that you notice, that you see the effort she's putting in, and that you'll step up and turn those casual hangouts into something more intentional. She doesn't want to keep wondering if you see her as just a friend. She's showing you through her actions that she's available because she wants to be part of your life in a bigger way. Don't let that go unnoticed. As men following a Stoic life, we know that clarity and understanding are critical. So here's a straightforward question. Are you paying attention? Is there a woman in your life who always seems to be available when you need her, even though she's busy? It's not a coincidence. This is the modern Stoic way of telling you, wake up. She's hoping for more. So what should you do with this knowledge? Don't let this moment pass. Don't take it for granted. Acknowledge her efforts and show that you're willing to take the next step. Ask her out. You're not just getting a coffee. You're getting the opportunity to build something real based on the investment she's already made. Don't miss the chance to reciprocate. Remember, life is about choices. Stoic lessons remind us that how we choose to act in these situations shapes our relationships and future. The question is, are you ready to act on the signs she's giving you? Are you ready to build something meaningful? That's the Stoic way, taking responsibility and making the most of every opportunity. This is your opportunity. Don't let it slip. The psychology behind why women pray. You'll make the first move. Now that we've covered the signs, let me explain why these women don't just ask you out themselves. In modern life, understanding the psychology behind relationships is critical. Women are no different when it comes to the signs they show when they're hoping for something more. The key is recognizing the investment they make in you. Time, energy, attention. This investment reveals something powerful. She wants to be with you. When she prioritizes spending time with you, when she constantly makes herself available, that is not just coincidence. That is a deliberate choice. She's sending a message and it's clear. She's hoping you'll ask her out, but she's not going to make the first move. Instead, she's positioning herself as the one you'd want to pursue, laying the groundwork for the connection to go deeper. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This principle applies to how you approach relationships. Take action. Don't waste time wondering what she means. Take decisive action. Notice her signals. Notice how she's always there when you want to be with her, even when she should be too busy. If she's available and actively seeking to spend time with you, there's no mistaking it. She's hoping you'll step up and ask her out. She wants to stop the guessing game. She wants you to make a choice and confirm what she suspects, that you're genuinely interested in more than just a friendship. This is the Stoic principle of awareness. Recognize what's before you, assess it, and act decisively. Women often hope for the pursuit, not just the connection. It's not about passivity. It's about a deeper, more fulfilling experience, being desired and chosen. She wants to know you're interested in her, not just in her company. Asking her out is an act of boldness, and it's a decision many women are hoping you'll make. Why? Because it makes them feel seen, chosen, valued. Women at their core want to be pursued in a way that affirms their worth. Stoic principles remind us of the importance of decisiveness in life and in relationships. That decisiveness is power. A man who knows what he wants and takes action commands respect. She's hoping you'll make the first move, not because she's passive, but because she wants to feel cherished, and that starts with your decision to lead. She's already made up her mind. She wants to say yes. The question now is, are you willing to take the risk and ask? Don't let fear hold you back. When you recognize the signs, the fear of rejection fades because you are no longer guessing, you're responding to clear, consistent interest. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live, said Marcus Aurelius. Don't fear the rejection that might come. Fear never taking that step. When a woman has shown you she's available and eager, make your move. Don't wait for clearer signs or convince yourself it's not real. Be the man who takes charge. Ask her out. Feel the power of that decision, because that is what victory in relationships looks like. All right, that wraps up today's video on the 5 signs women hope you'll ask them out. I hope you found these insights helpful. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. It really helps the channel grow and allows me to keep bringing you valuable tips. Got any thoughts or feedback? Maybe something you'd like to discuss or add to the topic? Drop a comment below. I love hearing your opinions, and I'm always open to a good conversation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Seven reasons why girls like you but don't say anything. Modern Stoic. Love is not something you find. Love is something that finds you. Loretta Young. We've all been there. You meet a girl who clearly has a spark for you. She lights up when you walk into the room, lingers around you, and remembers even the smallest details you've shared. Her body language screams interest, and the signs are all there. But then, silence. No words, no clear actions. You're left wondering, if she likes me so much, why won't she just say it? You begin questioning yourself. Am I misreading the signals? Is she just being friendly? Maybe I've imagined the whole thing. It's frustrating, no doubt. But let me tell you this. You're not wrong. She does like you. Those signs you're picking up on? They're real. She's probably more into you than you think. The issue isn't a lack of interest. It's that she's caught in a tangle of psychological, social, and emotional barriers that keep her from vocalizing her feelings. Here's the truth. There are deep-rooted reasons why she might be quiet about her interest in you. It's not about playing games or trying to be elusive. Rather, it's the result of the complex social dynamics that women often face, combined with personal fears and vulnerabilities. So, in this piece, I'll walk you through 7 reasons why girls like you but don't express it. Understanding these reasons will help you see things differently. It will help you interpret her behavior more accurately and stop second-guessing yourself when there's a spark of attraction, but no words. By the end, you'll know how to act with confidence, how to make the right move, even when her silence says nothing. And, more importantly, you'll understand that her silence doesn't mean she's not interested. It often means just the opposite. 1. She's scared of rejection and protecting her ego. Let's kick things off with the most basic but crucial reason: fear of rejection. She's just as terrified of rejection as you are, possibly even more so. Here's a truth most guys miss about female psychology. Women experience rejection as deeply as men, but they have fewer opportunities to build resilience against it. Why? Because women are traditionally expected to be pursued, not to pursue. It's a whole different game when the tables are turned. When a woman develops genuine feelings for you, it's not just about rejection. It's about risking her ego, pride, and emotional investment. She's not merely worried about your rejection, she's also worried about the vulnerability that comes with putting herself out there. For her, it's not just a slap in the face. It's a personal wound, something that can sting long after the moment has passed. Think about it from her perspective. She's been dropping hints, making eye contact, and trying to let you know that she's into you without directly saying it. She wants you to see these signals, make the first move, believing that, if you're truly interested, you'll notice and act on them. But here's the catch. If she ends up having to tell you outright, it's like admitting her subtle hints weren't enough, and that can feel like a massive failure in her eyes. It's almost like saying, "I wasn't enough for you to see this on your own," and that hurts her pride. The more she likes you, the deeper the emotional investment. The more invested she is, the more intense the fear of rejection becomes. You have to understand the psychology here. For a woman, being direct about her feelings can feel like the ultimate test of whether you like her back. If you really liked her, wouldn't you have noticed? Wouldn't you have made the first move? She believes that if you were truly interested, the signals would have been clear, and you would have acted without her having to spell it out. So when she even thinks about confessing her feelings, she's already setting herself up for the worst-case scenario: rejection. But here's where things get more complicated. The more she likes you, the more she risks losing the bond you currently share, even if it's just a friendly connection. If things are comfortable between you two, and she values that dynamic, the idea of changing things with a confession of romantic interest becomes terrifying. She doesn't want to ruin the friendship, the camaraderie, or whatever connection you two have built. In her mind, it's better to leave things as they are than to risk everything for something that might not work out. The comfort of the status quo feels like a shield from vulnerability. Also, there's the issue of emotional control. By keeping her feelings private, she has some level of power over them. She can control how much of herself she reveals, keeping that vulnerability locked away. But the moment she admits she likes you, she surrenders that control. Her feelings are no longer just her own. She opens herself up to your response, which, depending on how you react, could be devastating. That's not something she takes lightly. It's easy for you to brush off rejection and move on, but for her, it feels like the end of the world, especially when it comes to someone she's developed real feelings for. This is where the blessing of Stoicism comes into play. It teaches you to accept uncertainty and detach yourself from outcomes. As a modern Stoic, you understand that rejection is part of life, but it doesn't define you. It doesn't diminish your worth, and it doesn't change the course of your journey. For her, the fear of rejection can be crippling, but you, with the calm and resilience of an old Stoic, know that sometimes letting things unfold naturally is the best approach. The more you can show strength in uncertainty, the more she might feel comfortable taking the risk to express her feelings. She needs to see that the risk isn't as terrifying as she imagines, and that it won't destroy either of you. But remember, don't push too hard. Be the kind of man who embodies the grace of modern Stoicism, not the one who rushes into things, but the one who lets the right moments reveal themselves. Don't be afraid to be patient. After all, the blessing of Stoicism lies in trusting the process. 2. She's been conditioned to wait to be chosen. This one is huge and explains so much about female behaviour in dating. From childhood, most women are taught directly and indirectly that their role in romance is to be attractive and available, not to be the pursuer. They're taught to wait to be chosen rather than to do the choosing. This conditioning runs incredibly deep. She's been told by movies, books, family, and society that the right way for romance to unfold is for the man to recognise her worth and pursue her. If she has to chase or explicitly ask, it somehow feels wrong or desperate to her, even if that's not logically true. The fairy tale narrative that most women grew up with involves being discovered and chosen by someone who recognises their value. Having to explicitly state her interest feels like it goes against this deeply ingrained script about how romance is supposed to work. But there's another layer to this. She wants to feel desired and pursued. Part of what makes romance exciting for many women is the feeling of being wanted, of someone being so attracted to them that they can't help but make a move. If she is to be the one to initiate, it robs her of that experience of feeling irresistibly attractive. She's also been taught that men prefer the chase, that they're more interested in women who seem slightly out of reach. So even if she likes you intensely, she might stay silent because she believes that expressing her interest too directly will actually make her less attractive to you. This conditioning also includes the belief that good girls don't chase men. She might worry that being too forward will make her seem desperate, easy, or not relationship material. These are outdated beliefs, but they're still incredibly powerful in many women's minds. If you believe in taking control of your romantic destiny and rejecting outdated scripts, drop a comment right now. I choose to pursue what I want. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remind yourself daily, you are the one who writes your own story. 3. She's overthinking every possible outcome. Women often find themselves trapped in the cycle of overthinking, especially when it comes to relationships and emotional matters. While you may see a situation as simple, she likes you, you like her, and so you should get together. Her mind races through countless scenarios, each more complex than the last. She starts wondering, what if he's just being polite but doesn't actually want to date me? What if we try dating and it doesn't work out, leaving us unable to even stay friends? What if he's interested in someone else and I'm completely misreading everything? What if I'm more invested in this than he is? What if this messes up the entire friend group dynamic? The more important you are to her, the more she amplifies the stakes, imagining disastrous outcomes if things don't work out. If you're connected in a shared social space, a workplace, or through mutual friends, she's considering all the ways things could become awkward if the romantic spark doesn't turn into something real. She's evaluating every interaction, searching for clues to your feelings, and often overanalyzing them. She might convince herself that you're just being friendly, even though you're actually flirting. Women often underestimate how much men like them, just as men often misread women's interest in return. So, despite your signs, she stays silent, believing you're not interested in her romantically. It doesn't end there. The complexity builds. She wonders why you haven't made a move yet. If he liked me, why hasn't he said something? Maybe he just sees me as a friend. Or perhaps he's not ready for a relationship. Maybe I'm not his type. She begins to invent detailed explanations for your behaviour without considering that you might be just as hesitant and uncertain as she is. Overthinking leads to paralysis. The more she focuses on every possible way things could go wrong, the more she prevents herself from acting, even when action is exactly what both of you need. This is where the Stoic principles come in. A Stoic man like Marcus Aurelius understands the power of controlling his thoughts and actions, not being driven by endless what-ifs and emotional paralysis. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, said Marcus Aurelius. You must understand that the overthinking that she is caught up in doesn't just harm her, it keeps you both from taking action. It leads to indecision, missed opportunities, and miscommunications. You, as a man who embraces the Stoic mindset, must learn to break this cycle. Realize that you are both human, both prone to hesitation and fear of failure. But the most successful interactions happen when you act decisively and with clarity. You can't afford to wait for her to break the silence. You must create space for action. In modern life, we are surrounded by distractions, pressures, and uncertainties. The world moves fast, and emotions can cloud reason. But the Stoic man stands strong, knowing that overthinking and emotional paralysis are enemies of progress. The obstacle is the way. As the Stoic quote goes, you must face the uncertainty head-on, rather than avoid it by staying in a loop of thought. Take the first step. Show your interest clearly. Even when things are unclear and fear tries to dominate, let action guide you. Don't wait for her to make the first move. Instead, empower yourself by embracing clarity and decisiveness. Overthinking can only paralyze you. Don't let it. Remember, Stoic principles teach you that your mind can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Don't let fear of failure or uncertainty hold you back. Instead, face challenges with a calm, resolute mind. If she's overthinking things, don't let that be your excuse for hesitation. You must lead with purpose, make your intentions clear, and allow your actions to speak louder than any thoughts or doubts that may arise. Take control. Make your move. And above all, be decisive. Success is built on taking action, not getting lost in what could go wrong. 4. She doesn't want to seem desperate or too available. In the world of dating, the modern Stoic man knows that appearances and signals can be deceiving. And for women, one of the most common dilemmas is balancing genuine interest with the fear of seeming desperate. It's something deeply ingrained in social conditioning, this idea that expressing too much interest too soon makes you less attractive. A woman might genuinely like you, perhaps more than she's ready to admit, but she's been raised on the notion that eagerness is a red flag. After all, the modern Stoic man is taught not to chase, not to seem too available, and certainly not to seem desperate. So, what does a woman do when she likes you but doesn't want to appear too eager? She stays quiet. It's almost as though she's locked in a psychological battle, fighting against the odds of wanting to show you how she feels but not wanting to scare you off in the process. You've probably heard the old adage that men are drawn to what they can't have. There's this widespread belief that men find aloofness or a bit of challenge irresistible. So, instead of openly expressing her feelings, she hesitates, worried that showing vulnerability too soon will make her appear too easy, or worse, make you lose interest. You must understand this. Her silence is not a reflection of disinterest. It's her way of playing by the invisible rules that society has set for her. But here's where things get tricky. In trying to protect her image and avoid the dreaded label of desperate, she might unintentionally give the wrong impression. She might come off as disinterested, cold, or detached, when, in reality, her heart is racing to show you just how much she likes you. The fear of being perceived as needy or overly available can be so overwhelming that it leads to mixed signals. Instead of appearing mysterious or intriguing, she might seem emotionally distant. The very effort to not appear desperate can sometimes make her look emotionally unavailable, and that's not the message she wants to send. At the core of this behavior is an underlying belief that the right person will come after her, despite the confusing signals she's throwing your way. In her mind, if she's truly compatible with you, you'll be the one to pursue her, even if she's playing hard to get in the process. This approach, often rooted in the idea of the old Stoic philosophies of detachment and balance, might seem like a game. But deep down, she's hoping that her ability to keep her emotions under wraps will make her more desirable to you, without coming across as desperate or too easy. However, this fear of seeming desperate isn't necessarily a conscious decision. It's more of an instinctual reaction to years of cultural conditioning. You must understand that this behavior is not a reflection of her feelings for you, but rather a response to societal expectations. She's been taught that vulnerability in the early stages of a relationship is a weakness. It's the modern Stoic paradox: maintaining composure and not being overly transparent, even when you feel strongly about someone. So, if you sense mixed signals or a little emotional distance, don't take it personally. It's not about you. It's about her trying to navigate the complex world of dating in a way that keeps her dignity intact. Be patient, be understanding. The blessing of Stoicism lies in recognizing that everything unfolds in time, and you must be the one to read between the lines, understanding her silence as a form of strength, not weakness. Don't mistake her hesitation for disinterest, and certainly don't interpret it as a lack of desire. She's simply trying to protect herself from what she fears might be perceived as desperation. But if you want to connect with her, don't play into the drama. Be the steady presence she needs, and you'll find that her real feelings will eventually surface. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who could benefit from this wisdom. Subscribe for more insights on relationships and self-improvement. Comment to remember: I am patient and create the right moments to express my feelings. 5. She's waiting for the perfect moment or sign. Let's get one thing straight. The woman you're interested in? She's not just sitting there twiddling her thumbs, hoping that one day you'll magically know how she feels. No, she's waiting for something bigger. She's waiting for the perfect moment to come around, a moment that feels just right. In her mind, there's a script that must be followed. The scene needs to be flawless, the mood impeccable. It's like she's planning for a Hollywood romance scene where everything aligns in a beautiful and poetic way. But here's the reality check. That perfect moment? It doesn't exist. You must understand this. Waiting for perfection only leads to frustration and missed opportunities. She's building this narrative in her head, where everything must be perfectly orchestrated, just the right time, just the right place. But you know what happens? Days, weeks, even months go by, and nothing happens. The stars don't align. Instead of a magical conversation about feelings, you're stuck in a never-ending limbo of wondering why nothing ever progresses. This ties into a crucial lesson in Stoicism. Stoics teach us that we cannot wait around for the perfect circumstances to act. Action is key. You must act, even when things aren't perfect. Waiting for everything to fall into place means you miss the chance to make things work right here, right now. Life doesn't wait for the stars to align, and neither should you. Now let's talk about the second part of this issue. She's waiting for a sign from you. She's not just holding out for a fairy tale moment. She's looking for a signal, a subtle nod that it's safe to open up. But here's the kicker. She's probably expecting something far more explicit than you've been giving. She wants a clear message that you're on the same page, that your feelings are as real as hers. And that's where things get tricky. You might think you're giving her what she needs with your actions, but if you're not vocal or clear about it, she's still unsure. This is where Stoic lessons can come into play once again. Stoicism isn't just about internal strength, it's also about communication. It's about being transparent and honest, even when the situation feels uncertain. You must be clear in your intentions and your actions. Silence and subtlety can sometimes be misinterpreted as indifference, and when she's waiting for a sign, your silence might be exactly what's holding her back from taking the leap. Don't leave her in the dark. The key here is simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Life doesn't need to be perfect for you to express how you feel. Your vulnerability, your willingness to speak up, that's what matters. Be bold. Don't wait for the right moment. Take action now. Show her that you're receptive to her feelings by being open about yours. This is a modern Stoic lesson in relationships. Vulnerability and clarity are just as important as strength and resolve. That is the beauty of a Stoic life. You act with purpose, even when conditions are less than ideal. The perfect moment? It's not going to come knocking at your door. You must create it. Don't wait for the universe to send you a sign. The sign is already here. It's in the moments you share, the conversations you have, and the courage you muster to be real and open with each other. So here's what you need to do. Take the initiative. Don't wait for the perfect time. Take a breath, gather your courage, and speak your truth. And when she's ready, she'll match your openness with her own. But remember, if you don't create the moment, you might be waiting forever. 6. She's protecting the fantasy. Understand this. Sometimes women stay quiet because speaking their truth would strip the dream away. The fantasies, the hopes, the what-ifs, they're all fragile and easily shattered. She doesn't want to risk confronting the reality, because reality might not live up to the perfect image she's built in her mind. Right now, in her mind, she's already living the perfect story. She imagines endless possibilities, dates that never end, romantic moments that take her breath away, and a relationship that matches every expectation she's set. That fantasy is powerful, it's alluring, and it's safe. The minute she opens up about her feelings, the situation becomes real. And once that happens, it's limited. There's no going back. If you say yes, she's locked in, and reality might fall short of her expectations. If you say no, she loses everything she had hoped for. In both cases, she's lost the magic. The hope is often more thrilling than the reality. But here's where the modern Stoic mindset can make a difference. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, taught us to control our emotions and understand that reality is the only true constant. The Stoic principles encourage us to accept life as it comes, without getting caught up in the fantasies and expectations that lead to disappointment. It's a reminder to not let hope become a prison, and to face reality with confidence and clarity. Let go of the idea that life always needs to be perfect. The Stoics lived with an understanding that true strength is in accepting the present moment, no matter how it unfolds. Women are not immune to this. They too struggle with the balance between hope and reality, but you, the modern man, must see through the illusions and accept that truth, however uncomfortable, is always better than fantasy. You must know that not every relationship needs to be a fairy tale. Pursue the real, not the perfect. And when she's silent, understand that it might be because she's scared of the reality you both could face. But do not let her silence make you second-guess yourself. Instead, live by the wisdom of the Stoic masters. Take action. Don't wait for the fantasy to fade. Don't let life pass you by while you chase perfection. You must make the choice, confront reality, and choose to build something concrete and lasting. It's in that decision that you'll find true power and true victory. This is the life of a modern Stoic, where strength, clarity, and decisiveness lead the way. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us, or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. 7. She assumes you already know and are choosing not to act. This, my friend, might be the most maddening reason of all. Picture this. She's been practically laying out a red carpet of signals, each one a little bit clearer than the last. The flirty glances, the lingering touch, the extended time spent with you. She's been communicating her interest in a way that, in her mind, is impossible to ignore. She thinks she's made it crystal clear that she likes you, and that's where the problem lies. She assumes that you, being a man of reasonable intelligence, must have noticed these signs. But here's where the modern Stoic mindset comes into play. Your silence, your lack of action, is being interpreted in a completely different way. Instead of seeing your hesitancy as uncertainty or a need for clarification, she sees it as intentional non-action. You're not oblivious. You're just choosing to not act on your feelings. She believes your silence is a polite way of rejecting her, and she doesn't want to push you into a confrontation by asking directly. In her eyes, you've already made your decision, and you're letting her down easy by not addressing it. You must understand that this is not just a misunderstanding. It's a subtle but profound miscommunication. You see, in her world, this lack of movement is a rejection, a subtle, unspoken no. This is where the blessing of Stoicism can come into play for you. The old Stoic taught us that action speaks louder than words, but sometimes the lack of action speaks volumes. When you don't act, you create a void in her understanding of where you stand. And in that silence, she fills in the gaps with her own assumptions, which may or may not align with your true feelings. It's a delicate dance. What you might perceive as just giving her space, she may perceive as indifference, and this can lead to her pulling away, assuming that you're simply not interested enough to act. You must be aware that women, particularly those who are self-assured, often expect clarity. They don't have time to second-guess signals. They want you to either step up or step aside. If you remain passive, she might start to question whether you even noticed, or worse, whether you care. So, when you're caught in this loop of inaction, don't be surprised if she starts to distance herself, thinking you've already made your choice. The truth is, it's not always about reading between the lines. It's about being clear in your own actions. You must not underestimate the power of a decisive move. A simple gesture, a clear statement, or even just acknowledging her feelings can break the silence and dispel the confusion. You must act swiftly, with the wisdom of a modern Stoic who understands that time waits for no one, and neither does love. The blessing of Stoicism teaches us that while patience is a virtue, passivity is not. If you leave her hanging too long, she'll assume you're simply choosing not to act, and that can be a far worse fate than just saying what's on your mind. Final thoughts. When it comes to understanding why women sometimes remain silent about their interest, it's crucial to shift the way you interpret their behavior. Silence isn't always a signal of disinterest. It can often be the exact opposite. This subtlety can be a challenging thing to decode, but in the end, embracing it can change the way you interact with women, and more importantly, how you approach relationships. You must realize that waiting for verbal confirmation is a trap. Just because someone isn't verbally expressing their interest doesn't mean it's not there. You should trust the actions and behaviors they display over the lack of direct words. A woman who flirts, spends time with you, or seeks your company is likely signaling something without saying a word. The Stoic approach teaches us to observe the actions, the deeds, not the empty promises or spoken reassurances. Look for those signals. They are your truth. Don't wait for verbal confirmation. One of the most common mistakes men make is waiting for a woman to verbally express her feelings before taking action. But let me tell you something. Silence is not a clear no. It's a pause, an invitation for you to take the initiative. Stoic lessons teach us that we must not wait for perfect conditions to act. If you're waiting for the exact words to make your move, you may be waiting forever. Her silence isn't rejection, it's an opportunity. If she's investing time in you, flirting, and making an effort to be around you, you must trust that these behaviors often mean more than words. Be courageous in reading the signals. Don't wait for her to say, "I like you." Often, what she's showing you is the unspoken version of those words. Understand the psychological barriers she faces. When a woman doesn't openly express her interest, it's not necessarily because she's not interested. It's more likely that she's grappling with internal conflicts and fears, fear of vulnerability, fear of rejection, or simply fear of what might happen if she puts herself out there. You must understand that making the first move is not just about overcoming your own fear of rejection. It's about helping her dismantle her emotional barricades. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that the biggest barriers are often in our minds. So when you approach her, think of it not as taking a risk for yourself, but as an act of kindness, offering her a chance to break free from the silence that holds her back. You're not just pursuing her. You're creating a space where both of you can be open and vulnerable. She's not saying nothing, she's holding back. Her silence doesn't mean a lack of interest. It often indicates too much interest, which she doesn't know how to express. Psychological barriers, societal pressures, or personal insecurities can all play into this. You must recognize that her quietness may be because she feels deeply, but she's unsure how to let you know. In the realm of Stoic philosophy, we are taught to not react impulsively to what we see and hear. Instead, observe and reflect. Don't jump to conclusions based on what's not being said. This is the essence of the Stoic life, finding calm and clarity amid uncertainty. So don't take her silence as a negative. See it as an invitation to give her the space to share her feelings when she feels safe doing so. Break through the silence. You must be the one who breaks through the silence. If she seems interested but isn't expressing it directly, take the lead. Be the one who creates the safety and opportunity she needs to feel comfortable opening up. If you keep waiting for her to make the first move, you may be stuck in a cycle of uncertainty forever. You are the man of action, the one who understands that silence isn't always a rejection. It's simply a pause, a holding back, a fear. Take charge of the situation. Create the moment where she can feel secure enough to let her guard down. Don't leave her wondering if she can trust you. Instead, show her that you can be trusted by being decisive. Create the conditions for her to open up. When you recognize that her silence is rooted in psychological barriers, your next step is to create the right environment for her to express her feelings. This means being patient, understanding, and compassionate. It means letting go of your own fear of rejection and focusing on creating a safe space for both of you. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control the feelings of others, but we can control our own actions and responses. By acting with understanding and empathy, you are giving her the permission she might need to let go of her fears and express what's been silently bubbling beneath the surface. Trust your own intuition. As you navigate this delicate dance of silence and unspoken attraction, trust your instincts. The key to Stoic life is not to overthink and overanalyze every moment, but rather to trust in your own judgment and actions. If you feel there's interest but no explicit confirmation, trust that gut feeling. The signs are often clearer than we give them credit for. Your ability to read between the lines, to discern what's not being said, is vital in these situations. Don't question yourself constantly. Be confident in the steps you take. Whether or not she's ready to speak up, your move will speak volumes. Turn hidden attraction into open connection. In the end, you have the power to turn hidden attraction into open connection. You don't need her to say the words. You need to be the one to create the moment where she feels comfortable saying them. Women may sometimes stay silent because of their own fears and insecurities, but you can be the catalyst that encourages openness. Be the one to lead her out of her shell. Be the one who helps her move past the barriers of silence and into a real connection. Understanding why women stay silent about their interest requires a shift in how you perceive their behavior. When you're aware of these dynamics, you can navigate them more skillfully. Take action, break through the silence, and turn potential into reality. After all, It's only when we step outside of our comfort zones and let go of our own fears that we can truly experience the depth of connection that both of you crave. Embrace the Stoic life and its lessons. Understand that in the quiet moments, the true essence of attraction often lies. And when you approach it with confidence and clarity, you can transform that silence into something beautiful. Don't wait, act. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. All right, that's all for today's video on 7 reasons why girls like you but don't say anything. A modern Stoic perspective. I hope you found this valuable. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe for more insightful content like this. If you have any thoughts or feedback on today's topic or anything you'd like to discuss, feel free to drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your opinions and engage in some great conversation. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay calm, stay wise, and keep improving. Catch you in the next one.